So this is gonna be my video of my 1 year review working at Cheney Brothers, working for Cheney Brothers, and I'm gonna try to cover everything today, cause when we make a video, it's not scripted. It's just coming off the top of my dome, right? So first of all, before I start this video, I just want to say that if you work for Cisco or US Food and any other company and you push cases, don't be afraid to make that switch, because I can sit here and I can tell you right now, I've been here a year, and I got a friend, he been here longer than me, about a year and 3 months or 2 months, or yeah, he been here a while, and we can honestly tell you that if you push cases, you'll make more money at Cheney Brothers. We get more bang for our buck than many other companies out there. And I'm not just telling you that because I want you to come here. I'm just telling you this because I'm just being honest with you, right? I know it's a lot of drivers out there that want to push cases, and I know it's a lot of drivers out there that don't want to do cases. First of all, let me talk about one thing. There's a lot of misconception out there about the company. Usually a lot of drivers, they always end up talking to the wrong drivers, right? And Cheney got a place for everybody. It's a lot of drivers that don't like to push cases. So they're the ones that's talking to the drivers out there, and they're telling these drivers that they're not making money. Of course you're not going to make no money if all you can take out is 300 to 400 cases a day. How you going to make money with 400 cases a day? So I'm telling you guys, just use your common sense when you're talking to a driver, right? Now, when it comes to management, we got a pretty good team of managers, from transportation manager come down. All the supervisors, they're pretty cool, pretty cool to work with. Now, it's not gonna be everything you like about the managers. Everybody got a different way how to manage or a different way how to supervise. But at the end of the day, as long as you come to work and do your job, you're gonna be all right. One thing I didn't experience over here so far, I didn't experience the pettiness that I used to experience at the other company I used to work for. I didn't experience the pettiness, and I did not so far experience the unprofessionalism of management, right? And one thing I tell you about the supervisors over here, they're quick to lace up their boots and come help us out here on the field, right? They're quick to do that. One of the toughest things for me making this transition over here, the toughest thing was the benefit changes. Have to wait on your vacations and stuff like that to come back as a new driver, waiting on your sick days, and that's going to be everywhere. You make a switch, so something got to change, so that's one of the toughest things I had so far over here. But now I hit my year mark, everything's going to start to open, right? One thing that remained the same is the money. The money is good. I keep on making money, and I'll be honest with you, like, I'm gonna be quite honest with you guys, I'm making more money here than the other company. Like, I'm just keeping it 100. I'm making more money here than the other company. When I came to work here, right, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, my expectation of what I was supposed to get paid was lower than what I'm getting paid. And the reason it was lower, because I told myself, you know what, I'm making a move, I'm moving to a different city, and I'm gonna go to this company. If I make such and such, I'll be okay with it, I'll make it work. But nevertheless, when I start working, I end up making way more than I thought I was gonna make, right? Now, when it comes to equipment, you're gonna get a assigned tractor. It's a few drivers out there that don't have a assigned tractor, but if you're on a route, you're going to get assigned tractors, and all the tractors that we have, none of them is over 4 years old, right? Maybe you have a few that pass through the cracks, but we switch every 4 to 5 years or something like that. Most of the tractors that we drive, they're powered by Penske or Ryder, so there's no mechanics on duty in the warehouses. If you have something that's wrong with your truck, they got to make a phone call to Penske or Ryder, and they'll come out to fix it. Same thing once you're on the road, the truck break down or something like that, the trailer break down, they got to call Penske and Ryder. Now, let's talk about the TK and the trailer. Most of the trailers that we drive, they're pretty much in good condition, with the exception of a few liftgate that have problems here or there. Let me tell you something about liftgate, guys. It doesn't matter what company you work for, right? Liftgates is gonna have problems. Liftgate is gonna have issues, and that's just how it is. It's working off a hydraulic system, and it's working off an electronic system, and it's working every day, going up and down. One thing you can do for yourself is try to figure out little problems by yourself, instead of sitting there like a sitting duck waiting on maintenance to come and fix it. Most of the times it's something going on with the power, so you just get onto the trailer and switch the battery from battery 1 to battery 2. So with the company having the majority of the lift gates working fine and the majority of the TK working good, you're gonna have problems. And one thing that I can say is that once you get a problem, you make that phone call, they're gonna be there to fix it, and more than likely, the company is gonna send out drivers to help you. One thing I do like about Cheney Brothers is they have a lot of driver co-workers. I'm gonna call them co-workers because I don't like to use the term helpers. That's just me. I don't like to use that term. We got a lot of drivers co-workers, so if you got a crazy day and you think you might need a co-worker for the day, just go ahead and ask management, can I get a co-worker for the day? We have quite a few. And the good thing about our co-workers, man, is that just because they're not a driver, that doesn't mean anything. They're very helpful. They can scan, they can stack, they can pretty much, this is why I like working with my co-workers, right? When I'm working with my co-workers, the ones that can scan and stack, pretty much most of them know how to scan. I let them do most of the scanning and stacking, and I just run the product. I like to run, right? So that's how that goes. It's a blessing whenever you have a coworker that can scan. Trust me, it's a blessing, right? And next thing I can tell you is that working here, man, is just different, man. The customers. Well, I can tell you about Cheney Brothers customers, right? Cheney Brother customers are not, the majority of these customers are not going nowhere. So if you're a sales guy for Cisco or US Food or whoever, PFG, GFS, the majority of the customers that Cheney Brothers have is not going nowhere. They're just not. And the reason why I say that, I see how our salespeople deal with the customers, and I see how much these customers appreciate working with Cheney Brothers. It's just different. It's just different. And you won't know unless you know. You got to be in this game to understand what I'm talking about. For instance, right? You'll have a customer, and Monday he see such and such driver from Cisco or US Food. Wednesday on his next delivery, he sees such and such drivers. He's seeing a different driver all the time, right? And sometimes when you see different drivers, it brings on different attitudes, right? Especially if you're a driver and you know you don't got to go back to that customer again for a long time. It's going to bring on different attitudes and different frustration. When the customer tell you, put that over there, put that over here, pretty much put it everywhere. So one of the things that Cheney brother does to combat that is they keep majority of the drivers on the same routes, and our routes are not crisscrossing each other, with the exception of a few. And if you see routes crisscrossing each other, it's got to be a good reason, right? We have chain account also. We got a few drivers that's running the L houses. We got drivers that's doing Subway, and we got drivers that's doing Five Guys, Firehouse Subs, and we're gonna have drivers that's gonna be doing new chain account down the line. Yes, we're gonna take your customer, whatever company you is working for right now. You might as well come on over because we're getting your customer. Talk about that another time. So overall, the biggest problems I witnessed so far over here compared to the other company that I'm working for, I guess I would say the warehouse got some, they just got some, you know, they're working on it, you know, and they're gonna work it out. You know me, I gotta try to keep it clean as possible. They're working on it, you know, and they're gonna try to work it out. Lately, they've gotten a lot better. They're getting the trucks out earlier, you know. I used to be the type of driver that comes to work at 3, but I learned to adjust, right? Something got to give. Nowhere is perfect. No company, there's not one perfect company out there. So something had to give. And if it gives me come to work a little later, and if my pocket is gonna stay greater, then I'll take that drop off. I don't know about you. You know what I'm saying? Because we're not losing money. We're keeping our honey. And when we go home, we're gonna get that bunny. So everything's fine. Customers getting their delivery on time. And we're making real paper. We're not making nickels and dime. And you see our logo on the trucks, we stay shine because our drivers stay on the grind. You see what I'm saying? So everything's good over here, man. And for some drivers that used to make some good money at the other company, for us to come over here and last for a year, that means to tell you that it's something going on good over here, right? So for all the drivers out there, man, stop listening to people. Sometimes, like, you gotta get advice from people that's up in here. Get advice from the heavy hitters. Don't take advice from the quitters, right? Stop taking advice from guys that don't want to run. Don't take advice from somebody that never ever been over here. To me, that just not make no sense, right? One thing I can tell you, what is better with our warehouse though, the way they load the pallets. Our pallets is pretty much loaded like, man, how could I tell you? When I was at the other company, the pallets used to damn near touch the roof of the trailer. Now, with this company, the pallets is yay high, and you have no more than 2 to 3 stops on the pallet, and everything's pretty much easy to get to. You know what I mean? Equipment rise, we got, if you run a route, if your route needs an electric jack, you're gonna get that electric jack, right? You don't have such and such in the morning supervisor that's trying to fight against you, telling you that you don't need equipment. Supervisors that never ran the route arguing with you that you don't need equipment. You don't have that. These routes are already scoped out, and they already know what routes need an electric jack. And if you run a route that needs an electric jack is pretty much assigned to you. Now, if you run a route that needs pump jack, you that's what you're gonna get. Now let's talk about hand trucks. Now, one of the things that turn a lot of drivers away is hand trucks. The hand trucks are yours to keep. they're yours to keep. It's your hand trucks. When you come in, you tell them how many hand trucks you need, and the balance is going to come out your check. And if you decide to leave the company, take them hand trucks with you. You can either sell them or give them away, or do whatever you want to do with it. If you want to go recycle it, with sell the scrap metal, which will not make no sense to me, do so. A lot of guys that come here to work, what they do is they buy used hand trucks from somebody that left the company. That person will put the hand trucks in somebody's hands and give them permission to sell it or get rid of it. And they usually sell it for a cheaper price than what the company is selling it for, right? So you can do it that way, right? You can buy your own hand trucks, and you can get as many hand trucks as you need. If you think you need 6 hand trucks to do your job, get you 6 hand trucks. If you need 10 hand trucks to do your job, then get you 10 hand trucks. This is not the type of company that's going to tell you, hey, you don't need no more than 2. Do you know there's some companies out there that selling drivers that they don't need no more than 2 hand trucks to do their job? Like they're out here doing this, right? So we got the equipment, we got the trailers, we got heavy hitters, we got failures, we got everything. And I'm just joking, we don't got no failures. But we got everything, man, and it's just, to me, it's a good place to work. You know what I'm saying? If you live in Port St. Lucie and you're a truck driver, now is the time to get you a job at Cheney Brothers. Apply at Palm Beach and just let them know, yo, I just want to train. I want to train for when the new warehouse open, that I'm ready to go on over. Now is the time. Don't wait until the warehouse open to come on board, right? I'm going to be honest with you guys, right? Ever since I've been on Cheney Brothers, I brought multiple drivers over here, and all the drivers that I brought on is still here except for one. And the only driver that left, he was a driver in Cocoa Beach. And the reason why he left is just, this type of job is not for everybody. And we get it. But every other driver that I brought on is making money. And they feel good. They love their routes. And they love what they're doing. The recent driver that I brought on, he was at Cisco, right? And it took me weeks to convince him to come on over. And now he's over here, and he's making money like it ain't even funny. But let me tell you guys something, right? Majority of drivers make more money than me. You know what I mean? So I'm not the type of driver to hate on drivers when they make money. I'm happy for drivers that make more money, because at the end of the day, I'm a hustler. So I can't put all my eggs in one basket. I just need a route that I can go bang out and go home, right? Because you got to remember, even though majority of drivers make more money than me, you got to remember one thing about Cheney Brothers, right? If they tell you that they're going to pay you for a driver referral bonus for you bringing in a good driver, trust me when I tell you. Trust me when I tell you. I'm not going to tell you guys. I'm going to show you guys, right? I'm going to show you guys. Give me a second. This is my driver referral bonus right here. This is my referral bonus. So trust me when I tell you guys. If they say they're going to pay you, they're going to pay you. And one thing I can tell you guys, I'm just not going to try to bring on a driver just for the money. I'm going to make sure you know what you're doing, right? I'm going to make sure you're a driver that don't go from company to company. And I'm going to make sure you're a driver that can work, that can put in the work. I see a lot of Cisco drivers on the road. They putting in the work. I see them. They put in the work. I talk to them. You know what I mean? They put in that work, right? So if you're a truck driver and you know a lot of truck drivers, if you're a food service driver and you know a lot of food service driver, come on over, man, and bring them drivers with you. You're going to get paid for every single driver that you bring, unless it changes. Things always change, you know, so you never know. But overall, being here for a year, the majority of time of this year, it's been good. You know what I mean? Some of the problems that I have is just typical trucking problems, like truck breaking down, drop yard. When I was working in the drop yard, I did not like it as much because one thing, when that yard got flooded, it was just a nightmare, you know. So working here a year, man, been here a year, everything been all right. I got good customers that's on my route, you know, and they're pretty cool to work with, you know. And the managers, the managers over here, they're not petty, yo. They're not petty. You get what I'm saying? So if you're in South Florida and you're looking for a good company to work for, reach out to me, man. We'll talk. We'll chop it up, and I'll see what you're looking for in a company, and I'll see if this is a good fit for you. If it's not for everybody, you know, you're not going to come over here and play patty cake. We work over here, man. You know, so that's my 1 year review. Everything been all right. So I appreciate y'all for watching this video. We out of here.